Imagine being able to build an AI call center for your business in 30 minutes. Well, that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. And there's a reason why 87% of enterprise call centers have already made this shift. AI calls cost 20 cents per minute versus $5 for human agents. That's 27 times cheaper. So in this video, I'm going to be building a complete voice AI call center live. I'll first show you the call flow diagram from a real client project, walk through the solution design, and build the entire system from scratch. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how AI call centers work and whether that's right for your business. And if you're new to this channel and don't know who I am, my name is Edwin Chen. And over the past year, we've partnered with almost 46 different companies to eliminate their operational bottlenecks through voice, chat, and automation workflow solutions so they can focus working on the business and not in the business. And if you're a business owner and you would like to implement similar systems for your business, you're more than welcome to use the link in the description to book a free discovery call with me and my team. So we will start with a call flow chart that's been provided by the client. It is a construction company. Obviously, the name's now different, like changed it up a little bit, but the idea still stays the same. It starts off with saying, "Hi, thanks for calling the ABC team," right? That's the greeting. And then there are three main flows that we'll have in this diagram. The first one would be, are you considering a home renovation or a custom build? So basically a home extension, or are you building like a some sort of custom development? If they are indeed, then the call will get forwarded to Ken, which is like the working members if the working hours is 9 to 5, or to Grad for all other times. If either person didn't pick it up, then you will just leave a message saying, "We're sorry, we aren't able to answer your call at this time. Please leave us a detailed message with your name, number, and info about your project, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible." And then they will also want us to send an email to Ken, Grad, and Tenvin with the increaseabc.com with details regarding the call, right? So basically an email summarizing who contacted them. They also added, if possible, the AI calls both of them with a brief of who's calling and info about the project before the call is answered. Now, this is definitely possible, something called warm transfer, which I will explain in a bit when we're building the build. The second thing they want is, are you a current client or know who you're trying to reach? If so, please say their name now. Then you say, yes, name. So I want to speak to, let's say, Timothy inside with the team. The call then gets forwarded to that person specified by the name and an email sent to their email. So pretty straightforward. And then for all other inquiries, say other. So basically for all other inquiries, there are three different types of inquiries. Are you wanting to speak to someone regarding accounting? Yes. Then the call get forwarded to Jolly and John, which is in the accounting team. Again, if they didn't answer, leave them a message and send them an email summarizing who's calling them and what they want to talk about. If they're looking for partnership with a supplier, marketing, or want to apply for a position with us, then you say, yes, thank you for interest in working with us. Basically leave them a static message like this one. And if they're calling regarding a general inquiry, then for all general inquiries, tell the user to email them at info@abc.com, and the email gets sent to them again, summarizing what's happened in the call. It's pretty repetitive. A lot of it is just basically call routing, which is, again, I guess what's a good AI call center in general would do, right? Routing to the appropriate teams. But let me show you how we actually approach this before building the solution, is to actually have this kind of client provided charts, like a business process mapped into a AI solution architecture. This is what it looks like. We have three main agents or LLM steps. When the user calls, the agent will say the welcome message and announce how you can help the user. And then we will have some sort of intent classification, essentially classifying what they are calling for. Again, if they're calling for the renovation and custom build, then you do some sort of warm transfer. Again, what all that means is that the agent, the AI, will be able to brief the person, in this case, it will be Grad or Ken, about the specific project. So we'll be able to brief them, hey, Edwin just called about a home extension, right? So the AI will be able to tell them, and then they will have a brief idea of who's calling them and prepare accordingly. If they answer, great. If they didn't answer, then we route to the lead capture step where the LLM, the AI, should be able to capture the details and send an email summarizing the details. This is what we call the call forwarding component. As you can see, this component is being reused again and again and again throughout this entire AI call center build. The second one is confirming, are you a current client? And then if they're yes, then do you know who you're trying to reach out to? If so, say their name now. You capture the name and trying to fetch the phone number from this person. And again, you do the call forwarding component where you do the warm transfer. If they picked up, if they didn't pick up, then you just capture the details and send an email. The third step is for all other general inquiries. Then we need another classification to basically classify what to do. First thing will be related to accounting. Then you will need to fetch Jolly and John phone number and then do the call forwarding component, which is doing the warm transfer and the capture details again. If you're looking to partner with us, then you need to leave them a message saying this. If it's about a general inquiry, then tell them to email them at info@abc.com, and then you need to summarize the call and send an email to this email. So this is just a workflow design of what the call center looks like. Now let's actually go straight into the build. For the build, we're going to be using Retell AI, which is a voice agent builder platform for building voice agents. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to create an agent and click on voice agent. There are 4 different things that you can do. First one is single prompt agent, which is use single prompt. Multi-prompt agent is kind of like an older system now, which is basically dividing the prompts across different agents. Again, we don't need to worry too much about this for now. The conversational flow agent is the best place to start when building production ready agent. And I'm going to start from blank and click create. And from here, as you can see, we already have like a begin node here. And then we have a welcome node basically saying, hello, this is a customer support department. How can I help you today? And we can start building now. You have 2 options. You can either select a prompt, which again, you will basically enter a prompt and this will be answered by a LLM and AI model like ChatGPT, or you can just have it static sentence, meaning that it will say this exact sentence every single time of the call. So yeah, let's start building it now. First thing I'm going to do is going to just copy this message. I'm going to say, hello, thanks for calling ABC team. I'll just say, how can I help you today? And from here, we can see that we have an intent classification step. The way to do that is through something called transitions. From here, you can basically enter a description of the different possible scenarios during a call. So in this situation, I would just say, user would like to inquire about a specific construction, be as specific as possible. And the second possible situation, again, is actually through here. Are you a current client or do you know who you're trying to reach to? If so, say their name now. So I would just say the user would like to reach out, and I'll just add another transition condition, which in this case, I'll just say for all other inquiries, say other. So I'll just say for all other general. And now there are 3 possible situations. Now let's just do the first one. Are you considering a home renovation or a project build? And the second thing that I would want to do is to use the extract variable node. So what that does is actually extract some information during the conversation and save it in something called a variable so that the AI will be able to reuse that information throughout the entire phone call conversation. So I'm just going to say extract variables. And from here, I'm just going to call it project type. For the project, I would just select enum for now. Enum, basically what that means is you are forcing it to only take one of these variables. So it has to be one of these variables, right? So for example, it has to be home renovation, or it can be custom built, or it can be others, right? So now you basically tell the LLM to extract what the user said. So if the user said, oh, I want a home extension, then project type, the AI will be able to capture the project type to be equals to home renovation. So now once we capture it, then we can actually use the transition again. So I'm just going to click on plus and click on equation. And I'm just going to click on any of these conditions. I'm just going to take in the variable project type. By the way, if you want to refer to variable type in Retell AI, you just need to do like double curly bracket. So project type equals to, let's say, home, not equals to, but like I'll just use contains home renovation, click plus and click here. And by the way, if you want this template to kind of follow along once you build out this entire voice agent, you're welcome to use the link in the description. And I think you just need to submit your name and email, and then you will get access to the whole template so you can follow along as you build the build. So project type contains custom build, right? So now we have 2 conditions. If it's home renovation or custom build, then we're going to be able to use a conversation step, right? So if we look back at the answering, the call then gets sent to Ken if it's working. So actually what we actually want to do is use the call transfer node. So the call transfer node, again, transfer it to a human essentially, which is what we want. And for both home renovation and custom build, then we transfer the call. And if it's something else, maybe we'll just say for now, we can just put in a static sentence and be like, sorry, but we only do home renovation, and then just end the call, right? Because basically the construction company don't do others project types, right? So I'm just going to click here, and then from here, I'm just going to say skip response, jump to the next node without waiting for the user reply, right? Because we want to end the call. So I'm just going to end the call straight away here and just connect the conversation to the end call. Obviously, if you want a better user experience, you can be a little bit more back and forth rather than just one static sentence. But to keep it simple, I'm just going to keep it for now. You can obviously just change it to however you want. And from from here, transfer call, we can either transfer to a static number or a dynamic routing. Now, unfortunately, in this case, we will need dynamic routing. The reason why is because in business hours, we want the call sent to Ken, but for all other times, we just want to send it to Grad. So what we want is some sort of dynamic routing. So if the current time, by the way, if you want to know the current time, all you have to do is use double bracket, current time, UK, London. So this basically, because I'm in London right now, but this basically shows you the current time is right now. And you can enter the time zone. So UK, London, you can be America, Los Angeles, for example, if you're in LA. So it will know what the time is. So if the current time is within business hours, aka 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., transfer to Ken by a number, +1, I don't know, 9 to 5. If it's outside business hours, transfer to Grad. So again, if it's within 9 to 5, call Ken, transfer to Ken, you will have the phone number. If it's outside the office hour, then transfer to Grad at the other phone number. And you can click on speak during execution. What that means is that you can actually allow the AI to say certain things during the transfer. So I'll just say, inform the user that you will be transferring the call to Ken. If it's within business hours, I'll just copy this. So if the current time is business hours, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. If it's outside business hours, tell the user you will be transferring to Grad. And from here, you can select either code transfer or the warm transfer. As I mentioned previously, warm transfer is where the AI provides a debrief to the next agent after transferring the call. And from here, you can actually have some sort of on-hold music if you want, like a ringtone or none, or some sort of relaxing sound or something like that during the transfer call. And from here, you can say, you get two different modes, which is the auto transfer and human detection, meaning that as long as the AI detects there's a human on the other side of the call transfer, it will automatically transfer. The second option is to use something called a screening agent. What it means is that the AI will use different AI agent called an AI screening agent to analyze the information provided by the user. If they are a good fit and they are qualified, only then do we transfer it to a human. If they're not qualified, the transfer agent will say, sorry, we're not a good fit for you, or you're not a good fit for us, and then it will end the call. But for now, I'm just gonna keep it simple and just keep it auto transfer and human detection. We can click on here if you want to transfer only the human answers, right? So the AI will auto greet. You can also click that. So the AI will automatically say, hey, for example. And we have a detection timeout of 30 seconds, meaning that within the 30 seconds, you can probably read the docs here, but I'm just gonna go over it quickly. If it's longer than 30 seconds and there's no human like on the phone to say anything, then it will automatically time you out, and therefore the transfer will fail. There are different settings that you can select as well, but for now I'm just going to stick with the simplest possible settings, which is just transferring the call with the AI briefing our human team Ken and Grad on the user calling them. Now, if the transfer failed, meaning that either the phone number is not correct or they're busy right now, and then as known from this diagram, we need to leave a message and then send an email to them. So as you can see here, we need to capture the details and send them an email. So what I'm going to do is going to have another conversation note and just connect to when transfer failed. I'm just going to name it. By the way, it's a good habit to name your note so you don't get lost. So just capture user. I'm going to say, inform the user they are not. So I'll just say 1, ask for their name. And I'll just say to just pause, ask for their name. By the way, it's very easy to get lost with like saying the wrong name or miss a letter or something like that. So it's a good habit to ask the user to spell it out one letter by letter. So and wait for the user to say it. Then email, and then again, pause and wait for the user to say it. Ask for info about project. For the name, ask the user to spell it out. So you're asking to spell my name. For example, if my name is Tom Smith, it will be TOMSMITH. Is that correct? Yes. Then move on to the email, right? To make sure that they're capturing the right name and email. So I'll just say that the transition condition is the user has provided project. Then from here, you will want to send an email. What you actually want to do is you click on function. So what functions actually allow you to do is be able to send information, right? Some sort of tool that able to send information from the voice agent to another place. So what I've done actually is set up an automation workflow to be able to capture all the details being described in this call and actually send them in an email summarizing all the details. But you click on add and you click on custom function. You can actually think of any functions that you want. But for now, before we actually even select the functions to be able to send information, we need to be able to extract the information as variables, for example, the name, email, and info about the project. And only then can we actually send those information as data to an email, right? So what we're going to do again is going to extract the variables. And from here, I'm just going to say name of the user. This is correct. I'm just going to leave it as it is. And then you can also type in email, extract the user's email. I'm just going to keep it as text and save. And I'm going to put in another variable called project info, extract the user's information project. Right, I'm just going to click save. So you're going to extract these variables to make sure that the agent, the AI agent, actually captures all the name, email, and the project type. And what you do is click on transition, click on equations, and you just click on if all the conditions match. So for example, if name exists and email, this variable has to exist, and the project info has to exist, right? If all three conditions are true, then we can send an email, right? So we can add the custom functions this way. So we'll just add custom function. I'll just call it send email. So just say send and user, right? And from here, what I've already set up is an end-to-end workflow. Again, this is basically an automation platform. So all you have to do is click on webhook and you go to production URL, you change it to post. All that means is basically you're sending information from the voice agent to this automation workflow. You just copy this webhook and all you have to do is paste it in here. But I already have one set up, so I'm just going to use this one. I already have this up, so I'm going to copy this, paste it in here. And from here, you can define what parameters you're sending to the email. So of course, from here, I already have Gmail node being set up and it's sending to my email address. And then I have a new request. For example, we want to be the name, right? So I'm just going to look through the webhook to have name, right, to this variable. I'm just going to drag it from here to here. So new request from, let's say, Edwin. And you would just say, hi, Gerald, a new email project request just came in. We have the name that's collected from the agent with the email that's being collected from the agent and the information about the project, which is the project info, remember, which is extracted by the agent, right? So I'm just going to put in name. I'm going to put it in name, email, I'm going to put it in email, I'm going to put in info, and this is just project info. Yeah, that's basically done. And what I have to do is click save and just click add. Now we have successfully created a function which is send email. So again, within this function, you can also allow it to speak during execution. So you can just say, tell the user to, as you are sending an email to the team. Cool, right. And then you will execute the function. You can also basically enter the block interruptions where the users cannot interrupt while the AI is speaking. So all it does is basically to avoid the user's input from interfering the execution of the function. And then you can add the interactions, which is, for example, I click on here, for example, the function executed. A better way of doing this, by the way, is basically if you go back to the webhook and then you add basically a response to webhook like here. Once you've done that, then you add a webhook response and you will send this payload, basically success, back to this function, by the way, which you can actually omit through here. If I click on edit and I'm going to click in store fields of variables, so extract values from to response, you can just say, for example, response, and then it would be like success, for example. And then what you can do is that within this transition, you can just have a variable called response success. And then that means that will guarantee that the function has been executed successfully. But for now, I'm just going to keep it simple and just say the function has been executed. And I'm just going to delete this for now and change back to immediately and just save it. So this is our send email function. And then the function has been successfully executed. And I'm just going to add like a conversation node here and say static sentence. Okay, I've let the team know. And from here, you don't have to basically do another transition. So I'm just going to say skip response for now. The user doesn't have to say anything and it will end the call. So I'm just going to say, oops, just put here and then end the call. This is basically the entire branch in here. So this component. Now, once we've already built out the call forwarding component, it's actually really simple. For the rest of the build, it's extremely repetitive. So now the user would like to request speak to a member of the team. And all you have to do again is basically have the conversation node and basically are you a current client or no, you basically just copy this and then just put it in the static sentence. And are you a current client or know what you're trying to reach? If so, please say their name now. And then you just have a transition, which is the user has provided the name of the team member. And from here, I just need to click on the extract variables from here. Be very careful not to use the same variable type as the previous, like the name of the customer. It should be the name of the team. So I'm going to call it team name with name of the team member. I'm going to click save from here. Then you'll just say you have, right. And then if it hasn't, then we go back to the node, basically ask them to give them the name again. If you've successfully extracted the team member name, then you do the call transfer again, essentially. From here, you basically want to do the warm transfer logic again. So like if the user would like to speak to Tom, transfer to 112. If the user would like to transfer to Ben, transfer to 113. Now, obviously, this is not like scalable because if you have like 100 members, I'm not going to put this in like 100 times. So the more elegant solution is to actually have some sort of database. Like, for example, if you literally want to use Airtable, that's fine. Or even a Google Sheet, but better like a Superbase to basically store the phone number of each team member. So you will actually have a table saying Tim, phone number 111, Tom, phone number 112, etc. for your 100 member team. And then based on the name variable, you can do a lookup and actually search for the phone number inside this database and extract that phone number back to the retail agent. That is a more elegant and scalable way of doing it. But for now, I'm going to keep it simple because they are quite a small team. So this is more than sufficient. And I'll click on warm transfer again. Everything looks good. Keep the settings exactly as it was. I'm going to turn off three-way message. And yeah, I'm going to click on speak during execution and just say inform the user, Tom, now. And now if the transfer failed, then we go back to the call forwarding component, right? Which is extracting the name and then tell the user to hang on for a minute as you send the email to the team, right? So we're going to repeat the whole process. So I'm just going to put it here, here. And this will just repeat, right? And then for all other inquiries, such as accounting, partnership, or general inquiries, now we will need to basically try to have another conversation node, be like another intent classification, and be like, have another prompt, ask the user why they're. And you basically have the conditions where the user has permission to call today. And then you have another extract variables, right? Extract variables, boom. I'm just going to call it intent. The user has, and again, I'm going to put it as enum because there are only different options. The first one is accounting. The second one, partner. And the third reason is general increase. I'm going to click save. And from here, again, I'm going to use the same trick as before. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to put an equation and any of the conditions true. So if intent, accounting, and it's going to add another conditions. If intent contains partnership, and I'm going to add another conditions. If intent contains general, right? This I can just delete. This I can just delete. If it's accounting, then we need to get the call forwarded to the accounting team. Again, I'm just going to click on call transfer. Boom. Right. And then I'll just have a static number because this is the accounting team. And basically just say speak during execution. I'll just do, again, warm transfer. It's good. Can't turn it off. Yep. And then just say, I'll just say static sentence for this time. Just say, tell the user team now. And then if the transfer failed, it should actually be sent to this step first because this is the actual LLM step to capture the details. So I'm going to be connecting the call transfer all the way up. So it captures the user details, the AI to capture the user details, extract the variables, and send the email. If it's partner, then I should probably make it a little bit more like descriptive, such as like it can either be partnership, including application job with you, or general, right? Okay. If it's partner, then we just basically leave them a message and we can just put that as a static sentence because it's a static message that the team wants. So say, thank you for showing your interest. Just put that in here. Boom. Thank you for your interest in working with us for inquiries regarding partnership. Obviously, there's some space here that I need to fix, but then you get the general idea. I'm not going to fix the space. And from here, you would just skip the response and you can just end the call straight away. So I'm going to put it here and I'm going to connect this node to end call. To end the call. And we have the general, right? Which is, again, for all other general, please email us at abc.com. Boom. And yeah, I just need to basically, again, have another static message. For all general inquiries, please email us at info@abc.com. And then again, you skip the response and then you can end the call. And else, meaning that the user hasn't collected the reason why they're calling today, and we go back to the previous step and ask the user clarify why they want to do a call with you guys today. So yeah, this is a rough draft, the version 1, I would say, of the flow. Obviously, in the real production settings, there are a few changes, as I mentioned, having a database of all the context, the name and the phone number, and actually doing the transfer call properly. Some of the spaces can be fixed a little bit better. But all in all, you get the idea of how to build a real call center in this use cases. So I can go ahead and actually test it. Now, note that because I don't have a phone number attached to this agent, when I click on test agent, the call transfer will fail because the call transfer obviously only works in a real phone number, right? Rather than testing it live. But still, I want to give you guys an idea of what it sounds like. Oh yeah, by the way, before you go ahead and test it, this is actually the global settings that you need to change. So this is where you can actually change the model and the global prompt. So for example, I can put in like, for example, GPT 5.1 as a default one, and I can put in my global prompt here, which basically what you want to do is give it a very general guidance on what the voice agent is really doing. For example, the role, tasks, general tasks, what it's representing, what it's generally doing, how it should speak, certain behavior like the languages and the tone and everything that it's sounding, and some context that it should be knowing. So I've already prepared the prompt, which you can actually have access to with the template. I'm using the link in the description, but I'm just going to copy paste here. So I've gone ahead and put in the global prompt of Sophia, the ABC team voice agent. You're Sophia, friendly professional receptionist, the ABC team. You handle incoming calls with form and efficiency, and then you give it some of your personality, your role, which is the answers call, the call flow, again, a rough call flow of how you want it to be, and then pronunciations, natural conversation elements to make it not sound very robotic, tone guidelines, etc. Right? Very simple prompt that I put in. And from here as well, you can also change the temperature. The higher the temperature, the more creative it becomes. For this use case, I can just put it as 0.1. From here, you can also set up the knowledge base for the company if there's any answer questions, but it's not really relevant in this use case. You can also change the speech settings to change how it sounds like and things like that. You can also change the different voices from here. I like this one, I'm just going to keep it for now, but I can just keep it changed like Haley, for example. I can also change the languages here, but yeah, I won't worry too much about it. The main thing to worry about is the global prompt and the knowledge base and the speech settings from here. But yeah, this is mostly the general settings that you need to use. I will just click on speech normalization, by the way, and I'll just click on test agent and I'm going to test it.
Hello, thanks for calling ABC team. How can I help you today?
Hey, I'm looking for a home extension actually.
Got it, a home extension, perfect. As it's within our regular business hours, I'll transfer you over to Ken now so he can help you with your project. One moment while I connect you. Looks like no one's available to take your call right now. I'm sorry about that. I'll just grab a few details so the team can call you back. First, could you please tell me your name and spell it out for me letter by letter?
Yeah, it's Tom Smith, so Tomsmith.
Thanks, Tom. So I've got that as Tom and then Smith. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Perfect, thanks, Tom. Next, could you please give me your email address and spell it out letter by letter?
Yeah, it's test@gmail.com, so test@gmail.com.
Thanks. So I've got your email as test@gmail.com.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
Awesome. Thanks for confirming that. So lastly, could you tell me a bit about your project?
Yeah.
It's like where the property is, what kind of extension you're thinking about, your rough budget, and when you'd like to get started.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about like next month. Actually, my property is based on, let's say, High Street in London. And other than the home extension, I'm also looking for a kitchen renovation.
Tom, thanks for all that info. Hang on just a minute. I'm sending an email to our team right now summarizing today's call so they can get back to you about your home extension and kitchen work. Okay, I have let the team know. Thanks so much for the call today. They will get back to you as soon as they can.
Thanks. See, this is the entire call flow of the voice agent. As you can see, I just got an email saying a new project come in, Tom Smith. Email is test@gmail.com, home extension project in High Street, London, aiming to start next month and looking for kitchen recreation, remodel as part of renovation, right? Obviously, I need to format it a little bit better, but you get the idea, right? You can send an email and things like that. So yeah, this is hopefully giving you a rough overview of how you can build an AI call center. And if you'd like to implement something similar for your business, you're more than welcome to use the link in the description to book a free discovery call with me and my team, and we'll have a look at what exactly your business needs. And yeah, if you enjoy this kind of content, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.